Hello there. I'm John, your guide to modern infrastructure, and I'm thrilled to have you here for your very first virtual machine deployment on Google Cloud. Today, we're going to demystify the process of getting a VM up and running. Think of a VM as your own computer, but in the cloud, powerful, flexible, and accessible from anywhere. In this episode, we will cover the essentials of deploying your first virtual machine on Google Cloud's compute engine. We'll start by understanding what a VM is and why Google Cloud is a great platform for hosting them. Then, we'll go over the prerequisites to ensure you're ready to go. Following that, we'll walk through the step-by-step process of creating your VM instance and finally, how to connect to it. Google Compute Engine is a core part of Google Cloud Platform, offering virtual machines also known as instances. These instances provide the infrastructure needed to run your applications. You can customize them with various machine types, operating systems, and storage options, all while benefiting from Google's global network and robust infrastructure management. Virtual machines on Google Cloud offer a ton of benefits that make them a compelling choice for your infrastructure needs. They provide excellent scalability, allowing you to adjust resources dynamically. The flexibility in choosing operating systems and configurations means you can tailor your environment precisely. With Google's global network, you can deploy VMs close to your users anywhere in the world. They are cost-effective, as you only pay for what you consume, and Google manages the underlying hardware, freeing you to focus on your applications. Before we dive into creating your first VM, let's make sure you have the essentials. You'll need a Google Cloud account. If you don't have one, you can create it and often receive free credits to start. You also need a Google Cloud project, which acts as a container for all your cloud resources. For most services, including Compute Engine, billing must be enabled for your project. Finally, you'll need appropriate identity and access management roles, such as the Compute Instance Admin role, to create and manage VMs. If you already have a project set up, you can skip this step. Otherwise, start by going to the Google Cloud Console. Use the Project Selector dropdown at the top of the page and select New Project, Bold 8. Give your project a descriptive name like My First VM Project, and click Create. Finally, make sure that billing is enabled for this project by navigating to the Billing section in the console. Once your project is set up and billing is confirmed, it's time to navigate to Compute Engine. You can do this by opening the navigation menu, which is typically represented by 3 horizontal lines in the top left corner of the Google Cloud Console. From there, find and click on Compute Engine, and then select VM Instances. Now for the exciting part. Creating your VM instance. On the VM Instances page, click the Create Instance button. First, give your VM a descriptive name, such as My First VM. Next, select a region and zone that are closest to your users or your location for the best performance. For beginners, the default region and zone are usually fine. Then, under Braze, Machine Configuration, you'll define the processing power and memory by choosing a machine type. For this example, let's select a basic machine type, like N1 Standard 1 You'll also need to choose an operating system. For a Linux VM, Debian is a popular and reliable choice. So let's select Debian GNU/Linux 12. The boot disk size can also be adjusted here. Finally, review the details and click Create. This diagram illustrates the basic architecture of deploying a VM on Google Cloud. Your local machine interacts with the Google Cloud Console via HTTPS. The console then sends a request to create a Compute Engine VM instance. The VM instance itself runs an operating system, in this case, Debian, and utilizes a boot disk, such as a 10 GB SSD. This setup represents the fundamental components involved in getting your virtual machine up and running on Google Cloud. Once your VM instance is created and running, you'll want to connect to it. The easiest way to do this for the first time is directly through the Google Cloud Console. Navigate back to the VM Instances page. You should see your new VM listed. Next to your VM's name, there's an SSH button. Clicking this button will initiate an SSH connection directly from your browser, opening a new terminal window where you can interact with your VM. For more detailed information and advanced configurations, I encourage you to check out the official Google Cloud documentation. The links provided cover creating Linux VM instances and creating VMs from public images, which offer even more depth on the topics we've touched upon today. Thank you for joining this episode on deploying your first VM on Google Cloud. You've successfully learned how to create and connect to a virtual machine. Keep exploring and building.